All right, y'all. Here we go. Here we go. I'm starting a little late today. First of all, I hope everything you. Oh man, what's going on? I got it over here. Oh, here we go. All right, so I hope y'all are ready to go because I'm starting a little late today because we had some internet trouble, so I couldn't do the research that I wanted to do until everything came back online. So if y'all don't mind, I hope y'all having a great Sunday, but I'm gonna get right into it. Okay, I'm gonna get right into it. Uh, let's start with the news. Let's start with the news, y'all. Um, let's see. A black woman doctor sues Chase Bank for racial discrimination. After years of hard work and dedication, a black woman doctor was finally ready to cash in on her dreams. But that dream would be deferred. Dr. Malika Mitchell Stewart of Houston has recently filed a lawsuit against JP Morgan Chase Bank after being denied financial services at one of its branches. She alleges that upon attempting to cash a check for $16,000, she was immediately questioned and treated like a criminal. She is now suing for 1 mil. Ay, ay, ay. Uh, Dr. Stewart, who has just begun working in the Valley Oaks Medical Group in Houston, says that the check was a signing bonus for her new role. How you like to get a signing bonus for 16 G's? Go to school and go to medical school. Um, Yet, despite what may be considered a large sum of money to some, states that if she had been a white man, accepting the same transaction would have been no issue. Now, I remember reading about this story because actually I heard her talking about it on online, and she was saying how she went in and they would never give her a clear reason why they wouldn't cash the check. She got this check as a signing bonus for signing up and working with this company. You know, they give signing bonuses, right? So they gave her a signing bonus, $16,000 check they gave it to her. So she went into the bank to open up an account at Chase Bank so she could and deposit this check. But they kept giving her the runaround saying, you know, they can't do it right now, and they never gave her a clear reason why they couldn't do it. So she finally figured out, okay, they're having an issue because I'm black and I'm trying to do this. That was her reasoning. So anyway, if a white male was with the same check, I'm sure they would have verified positive and opened an account for him that day. Instead, employees of the First Colony branch in Sugar Land, Texas, allegedly began firing off a list of questions about the doctor's employment status and her age, turning what was supposed to be a special moment into a nightmare. They didn't respect anything. I shouldn't have even been asked so many questions about my age, what I did for a living, just to open up an account at Chase. But see, now here's the thing. If they treat you like that, just leave. Why do you have to do business with them if, I mean, if a place doesn't treat you right, just leave. I don't understand the philosophy of us as black people where we have to stay and try to fight to get accepted by people if they don't treat us right. If they don't treat us right, leave. That's why I was never in favor of the boycott. A boycott is when you boycott somebody, you're not going to use their services or products until they change their protocols to meet what you want them to meet, and then you're going to go back. That makes no sense. Just put them out of business by not going there. I mean, that'll fix the protocol so the next company will already see what happened to that company, and then and that industry will fix the protocols if they want to stay in business. But to go back, keep going back to people that mistreat us, and then to say, "Well, I want to sue you for $1 million because you didn't treat me right." I don't know, man. To me, that's crazy. But hey, I hope she gets paid. I mean, you know what I mean? I ain't hating on her, but I mean, just saying we got to get out of that mentality. We got a group mentality of, we're gonna force somebody like the civil rights era. We're going to force people to sit down at the counter with us. That's stupid. You know what I mean? Don't go there. They don't want you there. Don't go there. They'll figure it out, right? They didn't respect anything. I shouldn't have been asking many questions about my age, what I did for a living, and open an account at Chase. Of course, they're gonna ask you about your age. Of course, they're gonna ask you what you do for a living. You walk in there with a check for 16 G's. Of course, they're gonna ask you those questions. Don't be silly. But see, it's like it's a mentality that we got, man. In order to get Texas medical license or a medical license at all, you have to have a clean record. You have to go to school for many years, and they didn't care. Dr. Stewart says that she not only showed legal identification, she showed her business card. Uh, I guess nobody's ever faked a business card. Um, and even called colleagues from her medical group to confirm her identity. I guess that has never been an issue either, right? Despite the proof that she provided, she was still turned away. A claim that Chase completely denies. Hey, man, if you turned away, listen, black people, huddle up, black people, huddle up. If you go into a business and the business doesn't treat you right, leave and never go back. Never go back. Or in this case, never go back, but try to get your money. If you, like she's suing her for a meal, hopefully she gets a meal. You know what I'm saying? But as far as going back and doing business with those people, why go back and do business with them? That's stupid. Uh, we take this matter seriously, the company said. We have reached out to Dr. Mitchell Stewart to better understand what happened and apologize for her experience. Her attorney, Justin Moore, condemns the action of the bank, but as we know, this type of discrimination in the banking industry is nothing new. Yeah, it's nothing new. So just leave. 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 Uh, for a black female physician to be treated this way by Chase is devastating reminder that no matter how hard we try and how far we climb, here we go. Here we go. This train is never late. No matter how far we climb, a major corporation in this country still view us as if we are nothing. Okay, if they view you as you are nothing, make your own. Go get your own. Stop crawling into these places, and then when they smack you across the face with the reality that of how they feel about you, and then instead of saying, "Okay, we're not going to never do business with these people," you go and try to get them to change their behavior. No, you don't. The way you get people to change their behavior is you bounce. If you got a wife that's not treating you right, you bounce. You're never going to be able to talk somebody into doing better, into treating you better, unless they have a clear understanding that you have other options. See, but this bank felt like, hey man, you not coming here running some game with some $1,600 printed up check. You're not coming in here doing that. If you white, black, whatever. But you being black, I definitely think that has something to do with it. But anyway, let's finish up. Chase Bank had a history of discriminating against people of color, most cases ruling in their favor. So we're interested to see how this one plays out. Don't go to Chase. That's my thing. Hey, don't go to Chase. Why are you going to go to Chase when you know what Chase is going to do? Chase, they've already displayed what they're going to do. If they're going to treat a doctor like that, what are they going to do? What are they going to do with you? You get your internet your internet channel popping. You start walking in there with checks for $30,000, $20,000, whatever. What are they going to do with you? Don't go there. Go to somewhere else. As many other, you know what the good thing about America is? One of the good things about America has a lot of bad things, but it has a lot of good things too. One of the good things it has is competition. There's free competition out here. If you go to one bank and they don't treat you right, guess what? You can walk into another bank and open up an account or a credit, or a credit union or whatever, right? Savings and loan, whatever. You're not forced. This ain't China, and you ain't forced to use one bank, or this ain't you know, Jim Crow where we forced to go to one bank. You're not forced to go to nobody. You can do international banking with a bunch of different banks. So come on, black people, we got to get our heads out of the sand, man. We got to start trying to do things in a way where we're going to be successful, man. We're going to be things are going to work out for us in the long run, and we don't have to go running around suing everybody. There's no, I mean, I understand she's trying to get her money, but you don't have to go do all that. Just go out there and just get as much as just if a company mistreats you, don't go there. If a person mistreats you, don't go there. All right, I think we're done with that. Let's go. Let's move on to the hit parade because we got a lot to get to, man, and we don't have a lot of time. The hit parade. New charges are for former Metro Atlanta teacher accused of sexual misconduct. Clarence, why do you do the hit parade? Why do you continue to do the hit parade? Why? Because you guys need to see, especially those of us with children and grandchildren. We're trying to put them in school, right? We got to know that these kind of guys are out here. These kind of guys are out here, man. And then you got, saying, I'm pointing it out. I don't care how good the school is. I don't care what, man. It's these kind of creepy guys are out there everywhere. All right. A former Fulton County science teacher. This is a science teacher. A former Fulton County science teacher arrested last year under suspicions he sex assaulted one of the students faces new charges after recent accusations against him emerged. Holly Springs police on Friday announced the new charges against Robert Vandell, saying investigators secured warrants against him for 2 counts of sex battery with a minor. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, ay, ay. The latest charges come less than 6 months after Roswell police arrested Vandell on September 2nd on a slate of charges. What is a slate of charges? Yeah. I mean, I got to talk to the lead attorney and find out what a slate of charges is. A slate of charges in connection with allegations that he ARPed one of his students. Holy smokes! At the Fulton Academy of Science and Technology, FAST charter school in early 2020. Holy smokes! The child was under the age of 14 at the time. Any of you guys got a child under the age of 14? See, Clarence, why you doing this hit parade thing? Because I'm trying to show you, man, these cats are everywhere. They teachers, they janitors, they coaches, anything connected to having children, they're gonna be everywhere. You got to be all over it, man. You cannot see. When I was coming up, man, you could take your child, drop them off to practice, come back and pick them up later. You can't do that no more, man. That's not how you do it now. Now you got to drop. You got to take them to practice, sit there, watch the whole practice, and then leave with them. You can't leave them there by themselves no more. That's it. Those days, you used to take your daughter to dance recital class, drop them off, and then leave and come back 2 hours later, 3 hours later, whatever. Those days are gone. Those days are gone. And that's why I keep doing this information to y'all, so y'all can see. The latest charges come 6 months after Roswell was, oh yeah, we already did that. Those explore the victims, GBI said ex-teacher charged with more victims as Vandell's sex misdeeds haven't more victims haven't even reported them yet. The concerns appeared to come to fruition when Holly Springs police received a November 1 tip about inappropriate conduct that involved a student at Linden Academy, a private college preparatory high school in Holly Springs. Linda Murdoch, the academy's headmaster, told Channel 2 Action News a female student came forward with allegations last fall, shortly after Vandell's initial arrest. Murdoch said she sent the student straight to the police. Vandell was teaching at the school at some point last year. Murdoch said she fired him after he was arrested in September and barred Vandell from returning to the campus the news station reported. Once the victim identified Vandell as a suspect, detectives began investigating SES misconduct allegations against him. Police on Friday did not say what those allegations were in a news release announced the latest charges. I'm going so fast, Clarence. Clarence, I gotta go here. I gotta go there. See, I gotta go to work, and then I gotta come home, and then I gotta go do that. I got all this stuff I'm trying to do, and and I'm so I ain't got time to sit there with my child. I ain't got time to sit there, the clarinet classes. I ain't got time to sit there, with the gymnastic class. I ain't got time to sit there through the basketball class. I ain't got time to sit there through baseball practice. I ain't got time. Football practice. I ain't got time. Oh, you don't have time, huh? All of y'all, but in particular, black people, you guys you ain't getting it, man. You ain't getting it. The days where you could just drop your child off, those days are over. Yeah, Clarence, but I know this dude, man. He been a friend of the family for many, many years. I don't care. Don't put that if he's really your friend, don't put him in a position where he's with your child by himself. Don't put him in that position. If he's really your friend, you really consider him a friend, don't put him in a position of being with your children by himself. That's what a friend would do. A friend would say, you know what, I'm not going to put my child in this position, or I'm not going to put my friend in that position, man, because if anything happened, I'm going to be all over my friend like white on rice. So why should I even put him in that position? Or let me tell you what you really do. Let me tell you, men, huddle up, men, huddle up. This is what you do. And I don't care what color you are, but if you're a man, you have a penis, come here, huddle up. Let me tell you something. The best way to do this is for you to not let yourself be put. You think I have a granddaughter that basically lives with me. You think I'm ever with her by myself in a enclosed situation where I'm never with her like that. I don't give her baths. When she was wearing diapers, I wasn't changing her diapers. I wouldn't let my other sons change her diapers. Only one that changed her diapers is her dad, which is my oldest boy. I would never let my other two sons, I wouldn't let none of them change her. I wouldn't let them and if I was in a room by myself with her, and let's say she just got out of the tub and my wife said, I'm gonna put her here. It wasn't because my wife didn't trust me or nothing like that, but I didn't want the appearance. So I would call my other son in. I said, hey, come in here real quick. Well, as long as this baby ain't got no clothes on, you gonna stand right here with me with this situation. I'm not gonna be in here by myself with this baby and she ain't got no clothes on. My wife didn't even think about that because she don't even look at me as a person to even fear about something like that. And I'm not. But at the same time, I got to shun the very appearance of evil. I can't even let that situation happen. So I'm not gonna allow it to happen. But that's me. I have to think like that. That's me. That's old school, man. Old school black dudes, they would never, man. Old school black men didn't change no diapers. They wasn't alone with no child. They just didn't do that, man. They didn't do stuff like that, man. And we thought they was anal. They was tripping. But it wasn't that they was tripping. They knew the situation. They knew the type of situation that could develop just from an accusation. These children sometimes, man, they don't understand and realize if they say something or the mother may encourage them to say something, they don't realize the impact that it would have on somebody's life. They just don't understand that. They have no way of realizing if I say that Papa did this, what's going to happen to Papa. They don't have no clue. I mean, the mother can say, they did this to you. Just say they did this. Just say they did this. Who knows? That's why you got to protect yourself. You got to protect yourself. Hey, I would always tell my son, hey, come in here real quick. What? I got to stay here. Because just until your mom comes back so she can take care of this baby with no clothes on because she's sitting here just in a towel because she just got out of the tub and she went to go get some clothes for her. Neither one of us is going to be in here with this baby by ourselves. That's not going to happen. So you just stand here and watch me. I'm going to watch you. And that's what it is. But you just are, this is my grand. I would never do that. I know you would never do nothing. I would never do nothing either. It's not about what we wouldn't do. It's about how it looks. and we don't want it to look like anything that could possibly happen. So you got to, sometimes y'all in life, you got to take the long way around just so things can look the way they're supposed to look. And I'm telling y'all, you got to watch these teachers. You got to watch these coaches. You got to watch these, anybody in these tutors, anybody that got access to your child, and then they try to, you give them more access by leaving the child with them. You don't leave your child with nobody. You don't leave no child. I won't even let my wife leave my granddaughter with me most of the time. I won't. Every now and then, if she got something really heavy to do, I'll let her stay with me, because, me and my granddaughter ain't got nothing going on, like nothing crazy like that. But just the look of it, I won't, unless my other sons are around with us, then maybe. But I'm not finna do nothing crazy. I'm not, and definitely not gonna get in a bed with my grand. I mean, I don't do nothing stupid like that. It's crazy. She can climb the bed with my wife, but she already know. My granddaughter already know, man. There's certain things Papa ain't gonna do. So ain't no point in trying to talk him into doing nothing like that. So, and she love me, I love her. You know what I'm saying? But she respect the fact that how I get down. But you got to put that in the head of your children, so they know, especially us as men. We can't approach these girl children a certain kind of way, man, because it opens them up for all kind of different stuff. So my granddaughter know there's a line that a grown man shouldn't cross with her, because I don't cross that line. So therefore, if somebody crossed that line, it's gonna be weird to her. She need to see that. Y'all don't hear me though, man. I'm talking way crazy. Clarence, what you talking about? I know, man, right? Super Friends, hey, the Super Friends, I'm sure there's one or two of the Super Friends out there on, doing a live stream right now. Y'all can be y'all can be listening to the Super Friends, but I appreciate everybody that is here. But you guys could be listening to the Super Friends out there, and they could be talking about something about kumbaya, some kumbaya something, right? Ay, brother Clarence, man, you just come too hard with too much truth. Sister Don, ain't seen you in a while, Sister Don. Good to see you. Eden, bro, Clarence, good advice. Better to not create any doubt. Yes, better is as men. See, but Sister Don, that's our responsibility as men. But see, men, ain't nobody out there teaching this responsibility to men right now, right? Most of men, man, they they don't even think about it. Way back in the day, I was dating this sister. And this sister had to happen to have a young daughter, right? And so she would tell me a lot of times, well, not a lot of times, but a couple of times she tried to tell me, hey, just go, man. Let me tell you how good I had it, Sister Don. I had a key to this chick's house. I mean, when you're doing good work, you get benefits. You get the benefits of I mean, I was doing some good work. But plus I was this chick looked at me as a leader, and so when I told her to do something, she listened, and she got success out of it. So she really looked at me as a person of she looked at me as a person to look up to, right? She looked at me as she respected my opinion on a lot of different stuff. Anyway, but yeah, I was doing some serious work, Sister Don. Man, man. You looking at Brother Clarence, right? He's all broke down now, but talk about a body of work. You talk about a body of work, Sister Don. Holy smokes. Anyway, that body of work got me a key to this lady's house, right? So this lady gave me a key. She said, I want you to be there when I get there. So that's why I'm giving you this key. I said, okay, but I never would go there unless she was already there. So a couple of times she said, hey, I'm on my way. What you want to eat? I'll pick up something for us to eat. But she knew, but I was always telling her, hey, look, nah, that's okay. Because I really don't eat out a lot. I'm really not a person that enjoys eating out. I'd rather somebody eat her. And she was the kind of person, we were a match made in heaven. I'm sorry that situation didn't last. But anyway, it was my doing that didn't last. I just didn't I just didn't pursue it further, but I should have. But anyway, so she would cook a lot. She liked to cook. So she would cook a lot of times. So I said, no, don't do that. Just fix something at home. Because I enjoyed her cooking. And, it really was, she was a very good cook, very good cook. So anyway, a couple times she tried to get me to go there when her daughter would be there. Her daughter was probably like 10, 11 or something. And she would get out of school. The daughter had a key and she would get out of school and let herself in the house. uh, which was cool. But she would try to tell me, hey, just, so and so is there already. Just go ahead and let yourself in, and just let her know that you're there. I said, are you crazy? I'm not going. I'm not going to your house when your daughter's there, and I'm just me and her there. Oh no, that ain't never gonna happen. I said, no, no, no. Check this out. What I do is I got some. I can go shoot some hoop or something around the corner from your house or whatever. I'll meet you there. I said, when you get there, just let me know, and I'll come through. But she was like, yeah, just go on in. And she did about 2 or 3 times, and then finally the third time I sat her down and I explained to her. I said, yeah, listen, let me tell you something. It's not the fact that I'm afraid of something happening, and that has nothing to do with nothing. I just don't want to be in that position. You understand what I'm saying? It's got nothing to do with your daughter. It's got nothing to do with you and me. But I just don't want to be in that position. I just don't want to be in that position. And that was one of the things that finally got me to the point saying, Claire, what are you doing, man? This is a nice lady, but you're not ready to be in this situation here. You're just not ready for that. So if you really care about this girl, let her go find somebody who really wants to be in this situation, who's ready for that. You got too many other goals and things you got to do to try to be in this situation with her. Anyway, yeah, so I had to do that on my own and realize, hey, this is not good for me to be in this. I know she wants me there when she gets there. She really liked the fact that I would be at her house when she got home, when she got there, and I would if I was there by myself. But if I was there with her, even she had a son, even she had a son too, and I wouldn't even go there even if the boy was there by himself. I wouldn't do it because I'm just like, man, this is crazy. I'm not gonna do that. You know what I mean? So, but that was before I had the knowledge that I have today. Now I have a knowledge, man. I wouldn't even do nothing like that. But I was real young back then. So anyway, always keep your eyes open and always protect yourself at all times. Protect yourself at all times. Do we got that clear, y'all? We got that clear? Okay, let's move on because we got a lot to get to. Let's get to our new segment. Our new segment is called Death by Simp. What is death and or violence by simp? What does death or violence by simp mean? That means that there is a situation whereby the is uh simp has to face a situation and that they do not understand how to handle it properly to get a constructive result out of the situation. Instead, they go nuclear and they just decide, hey, if I can't have it the way, if I can't control the situation to make it work the way I want it to work, then off with everybody's head. That's death by simp. So let's look at the death by simp. Cypress, Texas. Officials at the Houston area Women's Center say last year there were 81 domestic violence related homicides in Houston, Texas. Holy smokes. That doesn't even include the rest of Harris County, where a man was accused of brutally killing his wife in Cypress last month. Right now, there is a major call to action for all Houston area communities. A woman who asked not to be identified was in disbelief learning what investors say her neighbor, 63-year-old Lam Nak Tran, did to his wife. My Thai Dang at their Cypress home on Peralta Springs Lane back on January 10th. Shocking, the woman said. Harris County Assistant District Attorney Michael Hanover said there was a pneumatic nail gun. Ouch! A nail gun that we at this time believe to be consistent with the pattern bludgeoning injuries that she suffered. How'd you like to be, murked with a nail gun? Holy smokes. Holy smokes. But I guess that's better than being burning up in a fire. Holy smokes. Hanover says that the Tran murked his wife. He turned the nail gun on himself in an attempted suicide. See, that's where we talk about the simps. What the simps will do is they murk everybody, and then they say, okay, I murked everybody. And then they realize, okay, the job's not done because I don't want to sit in prison for 50 years because I murked this girl. I'm going to murk myself. And that's what they usually do, right? So this guy went out and tried to murk himself after he did all this stuff, after he came to his senses, right? He survived and called police, who entered the home and found the gruesome scene. We would never have guessed it, the neighbor said. We would never have thought. While neighbors say the couple was quiet and private, officials said there was a history of domestic abuse that the family was aware of. In this situation, there is evidence that investigation uncovering regarding a prior call for service to the residents. Hanover said noted that Dang filed for divorce. Here we go. Here we go. Mama filed for divorce months ago and was doing court a protective order hearing, holy smokes, against Tran the day after she was killed. Holy smokes. 4 to 5 domestic related murders happened into that 6 to 18 month window when a survivor decided, I've had enough, I'm going to leave. Chow Nguyen, who was the public strategies officer at the Houston Area Women's Center, said many outcomes like Dang's could be prevented with intervention. We call it the 3 R's: recognize the signs of abuse, respond appropriately, and refer. When adds, before leaving an abusive relationship, it is important to have a safety plan in place. See, I already told y'all this, right? Got to have an escape plan, man. You can't just go to the dude, a controlling guy, and or a simp, or a dude that doesn't have the right amount of self-respect for himself, and say, hey, I'm leaving you after 2 years, 5 years, or whatever. I'm leaving. You can't do that. Some of these guys, man, they go snap, and they just go, they don't have a history of violence. A lot of them guys don't even have a history of violence, but they just snap because why? The fear of loss. The fear of loss over control of their life with a woman. That rejection uh, connects to a trauma that they have had in the past, and where they say, this is not gonna I'm not gonna allow this to happen to me no more. I'm going to do something about it. Trans being held in county jail on $500,000 bond for murder. If found guilty, he could get life in prison. The simps are out there, and the ones that are in the most danger are you women. Women, you guys are the most dangerous from these simps. Because what happens is you guys get with the simp at first. You guys say, wow, this is a nice guy. He's a this and this and this and that. Right? He's a very nice guy. He does what he, is supposed to do, everything. And then for some reason, something happens where you just fall. Oh, you just don't have that. You realize you don't have that attraction, that oomph attraction to this person, right? And somebody else, or really what it really ends up happening is some other dude walks by you and awakens that primal urge to be with a alpha male. That somebody else comes in and awakens that urge, and that primal need, and then you realize, I'm not happy. I've just been tolerating this person, but I'm not really happy. So what do? I'm not happy. I want to go chase my happiness. But uh, happiness is a small part of relationships. The biggest part of relationship is duty. Duty is the biggest part of a relationship. What what are you supposed to do? What are you being asked to do in this relationship, and who is it going to benefit? Is your duty going to benefit? And we're going to get to that with Nick Cannon in a minute. Is your duty going to benefit who? Yourself Minister Farrakhan said you cannot be good to yourself. You can't be good to yourself. You can't do stuff just for you, just to help yourself and then call yourself a good person. I'm a good person. How are you good when you only doing things to help you? To be good, you gotta help. You gotta make sacrifices and help other people. Oh, Clarence, I have to do. Hey, I didn't make the rules, so don't blame me. I'm just a messenger. I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you the reality of the situation, the mathematics of the situation. All right. All right. So that's the hit parade. You guys watch yourself out there. Watch yourself, especially you ladies out here. Watch yourself out there. Make sure you when you and I have my other channel, the pre-marriage mentor, where I will talk about different issues about how to vet men. You women don't even know how to vet men. You say, oh, he's got the male appendage and he's talking tough. He's my guy. Uh-uh. You gotta learn how to vet these men properly, man. And some of these men have issues, and you can see them up front. Some of them have issues up front. But most of us, like men and women, most of us, we turn a blind eye to those issues. And then we get into these long-term relationships with these people, and then finally the pressure of being in a marriage, a long-term relationship, or a marriage, they can't hide no more. See, these people can hide when you ain't living with them, right? You just dating them for 2 or 3 years, man. They can hide their incompetence. They can hide this stuff. But then when you get into a long-term relationship with these, see, that's why I don't like a lot of times and that's why I started that other channel, because I see so much bad information being given out here about relationships. What you know about relationship, Clarence? You got 30 years in a marriage, 30 plus in a marriage. Bro, you don't get 30 years in a marriage without knowing how to do a few things, without having some, you gotta have some stuff upstairs, man. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have some stuff upstairs, and to be real with you, you gotta have a body of work that is unfathomable, untouchable, right? Nobody's gonna stay with you for 30 years and the body of work that you have is horrible. It's just not gonna happen. You gotta have a collective body of work that's unmatched, unmatched, right? But a lot of things have to happen. A lot of things have to happen. A lot of things have to happen. All right, y'all. So let's move on, man, because we got a lot to get to. A lot to get to, and hopefully I'm trying to do it in a couple of hours. I don't want to be out here long today. Let's move on. The Black History Minute. Tuskegee Airmen. Tuskegee Airmen. Right? Remember, before the Tuskegee Airmen, what were black men doing in World War II? They were working where? In the kitchen, right? See the movie Pearl Harbor? Where was Cuba Gooding working at? He was working in the kitchen. Even though they said he was a soldier, he was working in the kitchen. But what happened when the ish went down? Cuba Gooding was out there shooting down Japanese Zeros, right? Right? They had to see, but they were scared. Why? Because they meaning the elite white people were scared that if they put all them guns in the hands of black people, they would try to overthrow the government. Oh, Clarence, what you talking about? I'm just telling you why they held black men back from actually being, fighting in the war. They just wanted them in the kitchen, or they wanted them in the supply chain, or they wanted them in the, saying in the cleanup detail. But they didn't ever want them in the place where they had access to ammunition, guns, and ammunition. They didn't want them because they felt like, hey, these guys might try to overthrow the government. But when the Tuskegee Airmen came out, they realized, man, we all got the same goal: freedom, freedom. We all got the same goal, whether we white or black or red or yellow. We got the same goal most of the time, and that's freedom. The Tuskegee Airmen were the first black military aviators in the U.S. Army Air Corps, uh, a precursor of the U.S. Air Force trained at Tuskegee Army Airfield in Alabama. They flew more than 15,000 individual sorties in Europe and North Africa during World War II. Their impressive performance earned them more than 150 distinguished flying crosses and helped encourage the eventual integration of the U.S. Armed Forces. Right? Let's see. We got Sister Don. These opening sections are very interesting. Thanks, Sister Don. Appreciate you. I'm just trying to educate you. You know what I'm saying? I could be out there with the super friends talking about football and baby mamas and all that. We're gonna get to baby mamas. We're gonna get to Nick Cannon in a minute. But thank you, Sister Don. Appreciate you. Let's see what we talking about. Okay. Uh During the 1920s. Thank you, sister. I didn't even realize I pushed it down like that. Yeah, so, but African Americans who aspired to become pilots met with significant obstacles, starting with the widespread racist, not racist, but bigoted belief that the black people could not learn to fly or operate sophisticated air. Still no audio? I shouldn't be muted. I shouldn't be muted right now. Just I should be okay. I should be okay. Somebody tell me if I'm not okay. Tell me if I don't have no audio. I should have audio right now. I appreciate you, Sister Don, trying to keep me straight, but I think I got audio right now. I can hear myself in the headphones. That's why I wear the headphones sometimes, because I never know when I go in and out of audio. Sometimes I accidentally push a mute button. Anyway, you guys let me know if I'm not okay now. Thank you, Sister Don. Appreciate you. Okay. In 1938, with Europe teetering on the brink of another great war, President Roosevelt announced that he would expand the civil pilot training program in the United States. At the time, racial segregation remained the rule of the United States Armed Forces, as well as much of the country. Much of the military establishment, particularly in the South, believed black soldiers were inferior to whites and performed relatively poor in combat. No, we never had a chance to be in combat, so how would you know we performed poorly? But as the AAC began ramping up its training program, black newspapers like the Chicago Defender and Pittsburgh Courier joined civil rights groups like the NAACP in arguing that black Americans could be included. In September 1940, Roosevelt's White House responded to such lobbying campaigns by announcing the AAC would soon begin training black pilots. For the training site, the War Department chose the Tuskegee Army Airfield in Tuskegee, Alabama, then under construction. Home to the prestigious Tuskegee Institute, founded by Booker T. Washington, it was located in the heart of the Jim Crow South. The program's trainees, nearly all of them college graduates or undergraduates, came from all over the country. In addition, some 1,000 pilots, the Tuskegee program trained nearly 14,000 aviators, bombardiers, instructors, aircraft and engine mechanics, control tower operators, and other maintenance and support staff. The Tuskegee experiment took a great leap forward in 1941 thanks to a visit by Eleanor Roosevelt to the airfield. Charles Chief Anderson, then the chief flight instructor in the program, took the First Lady on an aerial tour, and photos and film of the flight helped publicize the program. Benjamin O. Davis, Jr. Among 13 members of the first class of aviation candidates in 1941 was Benjamin O. Davis, Jr., a graduate of West Point, not bad, and the son of Brigadier General Benjamin O. Davis, one of two black officers other than chaplains in the entire U.S. military. In April 1943, the Tuskegee trained 99th Pursuit Squadron deployed to North Africa, where the Allies had occupied. In North Africa and in Sicily, they flew missions in the second-hand P-40 planes, which were slower and more difficult to maneuver than their German counterparts. After the commander of the 99th assigned fighter group complained about the squadron's performance, Davis had to defend his men before a War Department committee. Rather than being shipped home, the 99th was moved to Italy, where they served alongside the white pilots of the 79th Fighter Group. In 1944, the pilots from the 1999 shot down 12 German fighters in 2 days, going some distance toward proving themselves in combat. Okay, I'm not going to read the whole article because it's many pages long, but you guys need to go and check for yourself the Tuskegee Airmen. They had many success stories out of the Tuskegee Airmen, and they helped to integrate the the United States Armed Forces. Once people saw that, hey man, these guys ain't trying to overthrow the government. They trying to fight for this country just like you guys are trying to fight for this country. They got children here, they got family here. What are they gonna do? Hey, and they can fly airplanes and they can uh, do critical thinking. We can do critical thinking if we're trained how to do so. Problem is, a lot of times in the black community, we're not trained how to do critical thinking. But anyway, that's the Tuskegee Airmen. Go check that out. Don't just take my word for it. Dig that. Go look it up for yourself. Go look up the Tuskegee Airmen for yourself. All right, y'all. We on our way. We on our way, y'all. Don't go away. Don't go away. What we got now? What do we got now? The STEM job of the week. It is not actuary. Let me tell you what it actually is. Let's see. Medical and health services services manager. That's what we doing. Uh-oh. Let me fix this real quick. And then we're gonna be ready to rock and roll. All right. Your job of the week, medical and health services manager. Medical and health service manager. What? Clarence, what are you talking about? Medical and health services manager are the planners and directors and coordinators who will work behind the scenes to keep hospitals, nursing homes, group practices, and other healthcare facilities running efficiently. In short, they are super organized professionals. Medical and health service managers are usually extremely detail oriented people with good analytic skills because much of their time is spent working with doctors, health insurance representatives, and other administrators. They should have good interpersonal communicational skills. Problem solving is another part of the job. Technical skills is almost are also a must because these professionals must keep up to date with software and electronic records. Okay, so basically, you want to be a medical and health services manager. Let's see how much they make. Let's cut to the nitty gritty. What is the money looking like? Right? What is the money looking like? Medical and health services managers made a median salary of $104,280 in 2020. The Best Page 25 made 25% made $139,650,000 last year. How to become a medical and health service manager. To work in a hospital, most medical answer, you must have a bachelor's degree in health administration. However, a master's degree in an area like public administration, business administration, or public health may help open the door for more opportunities. Certification isn't a requirement either, but it's available through PH, PAHCOM, PACOM, and the College of Healthcare Administrators and other associations. Again, it is not a requirement, but it might help show your employers your dedication and seriousness about the profession. Okay, why, Clarence? Clarence, why do you always have to put these jobs out there? Because our children, especially, I mean, any children, but especially our black children, they are out of focus. They are dropping out of high school like flies, and they're thinking that they're going to start a YouTube career or IG model career, and they're not. They think they're going to make money, flipping birds on the street, and most of them are not. What they're going to do is go out here and end up poor, and they're going to have children. They're going to bring children into poverty. That's statistically what's going to happen to them. So I'm telling you and me and us to point our children into the direction of STEM. STEM is the future. STEM is here. It's the future. If you are not driving your child into a STEM career, you are absolutely abusing that child. You're not telling them, hey man, you need to get yourself together in mathematics, science, and communications. You need to get that. You need to get them to understand that. And let me tell you something about especially black boys. Shout out to George Macon, especially black boys. Excuse me. Fourth grade is too late. Fourth grade to try to get them onto mathematics and to appreciate mathematics and the sciences. Fourth grade is too late. That needs to be happening around third grade. That's where the emphasis need to be put on them trying to bump up their math and science skills. I'm talking about for black boys. They smart enough at third grade to be able to take in concepts, take in higher math concepts. The problem that the problem that most young black boys gonna have is their peers. Their peers, black children are the only children that I've ever seen do something like this, where they put each other down for being smart as far as book learning. They put each other down for it. I've only seen this phenomenon with black children. It's something that is absolutely bizarre as hell. But I see it. They do. So that's something that you have to find a way around that. That is a tough one because if you say, especially the boy children, when you send the boy children out there and they smart, girl children, they're allowed to have that freedom to be smart if they want to. But boy children, they're absolutely put down. They call them geeks. They call them nerds. They call them all because they got all kind of names for them for actually being, you know, being successful scholastically. It's the strangest shit in the world. It's something. It's the bizarro world. You guys know about Superman and Bizarro. Bizarro is the opposite of Superman. When Superman says go, he's gonna go up. Bizarro says I'm going down. It's the bizarro world. We are living in the bizarro world. So you, as the parent, you got to figure out a way around that. You got to figure a way around that, man. You know what I'm saying? Or you got to help your child have a blend of street smarts, but at the same time, reach for the stars because their peers are going to try to hold them back to their level of understanding. Do you follow? If you have a friend that he might be your friend, but he ain't gonna want you to pass him as far as accomplishments. So they're gonna encourage you to be on his same level. And when you have friends like that, those are not friends. Because a real friend will push you to be successful. Oh man, you could do it, man. Hey man, you staying in school? When I was coming up, man, I used to play basketball with all these different drug dealers, man. Why? Why, Clarence? Why are you playing basketball, drug dealer? Because nobody else would play. I wanted to get my skills up, and nobody else would bring a basketball down there with them dudes because they were so dangerous. But I knew a lot of them because I lived around the corner from a lot of them, so I knew a lot of their families. So I wasn't, you know what I'm saying? They knew me, I knew them. Plus they knew my pops, man. They knew my pops, and my pops didn't play no games. My pops would come to all their house looking for me if something happened. So they knew my pops, they respected him, even though he was in law enforcement and they was doing what they was doing. They respected, they had a healthy respect for each other, but they knew my pops would come looking for me. So it wasn't, ain't no, nothing happened to me. Even if something happened to me at the park, my pops would come to them and say, "Hey, what happened? Gangbangers and all. Wait, what happened?" He come to their house. "Hey, what happened with my son? He was with you." So they had a healthy respect for my pops, and my pops had a healthy respect for them. So anyway, I would, but he would tell me, "Don't go down there and play with them," and I would say, "Okay," and I would head like I was going to one park, but I actually go to the other park to play with the drug dealers because they was the only ones that was out there that wanted to play. And I'm just saying, they always pushed me. They always said, "Man, you staying in school. I know your pop's gonna get you if you not." I was like, "Yeah, I know, man. Yeah, you know." They always encouraged me to stay in school, even though they was out there selling weed and selling crack or whatever they was selling. They would stop the games. I had to tell them, "Damn, man, come on, man, you keep stopping the game." But they would stop the games and stuff. But the point is, when game would be over or something, and we would just be shooting around or something, they would be out. They would always be making sure that I was on point. "Hey, you going to school, right? You staying in school, right? Because I don't want to hear about you not in school, man." You know, and they push me. But that was how we used to do it. Now the people pull you into a bunch of bullshit. They pull you into it, and then there's a lot of times there's no man around, and then men start doing all kind of crazy stuff. So let's get into that right now. Let's get into Nick Cannon. So Nick Cannon, Nick Cannon has how many baby mamas? I'm not sure how many baby mamas. He has his eighth child on the way. His eighth child on the way. But baby mamas, I don't know how many. But I'm gonna let us take a look at a video. I'm gonna let us take a look at a video about Nick Cannon and about his baby's mamas. So let's take a look at that. I'm gonna share the screen here. Yeah, let's see. Let's take a look at Nick Cannon and his crazy baby mamas and his uh quest to be uh you know the man and having all these different children all over the place.
American comedian, rapper, television presenter, and actor Nicholas Scott Cannon was born in San Diego, California. However, he split his upbringing between there with his mother and grandmother and Charlotte, North Carolina with his father. His father would actually be the person to give Nick his first big break in entertainment. As a preteen, Nick secured a gig doing stand-up comedy on his local cable access program. The big break in his career would come in his teens on the Nickelodeon sketch comedy television series All That. Also, while in his teens, Nick delved into the music game as a member of rap group the G4 Dope Bomb Squad. After breaking away from the group, he would eventually sign a solo record deal and, to date, release 2 studio albums. It turned out that music would have to take a back seat since his acting and hosting career would take off in a tremendous way. Over the years, he would host numerous television shows, such as The Nick Cannon Show, Wild 'N Out, America's Got Talent, and The Masked Singer. He also starred in the films Drumline, Love Don't Cost a Thing, and Roll Downs. In some cases, no matter how much professional success a person has, he or she may also long for personal success as well. As Nick's career has ascended, so has his access to some of the most beautiful and accomplished women in Hollywood. Way back at the beginning of the millennium, Singer songwriter Nicole Scherzinger had a relationship with Nick during his All That days. Nicole, on the other hand, was a virtual unknown. Their short lived intimate relationship seems to have ended amicably, since they would begin a working relationship with each other many years down the line.
Okay. Okay. So now the first thing we have happening is he gets money. He gets on. Now he gets on. Now women start coming out of nowhere. Oh, bro, Clarence, he don't have to be having sex with all these different women. No, he don't. But imagine you as a misguided young man. When I say misguided, I mean I'm sure his father tried to tell him different things, but I mean, you think you know everything, man. You got millions of dollars in your pocket and you ain't even 20 years old yet, right? Um, the guy was just like, I'm not listening to nobody. I'm gonna do what I want to do. And what he wanted to do was have sex, like most guys. But why are men like that? That's another story. That's another topic for discussion because I've already approached that situation where I said that young men, young boys, are groomed to be their masculinity tied to their sexual accomplishments. Did you hear what I said? Your young black men, especially them, are they are they have a cultural norm where their masculinity is directly tied to their sexual accomplishments. White men's masculinity a lot of times is connected to their economic accomplishments most of the time. That doesn't happen in the black community. So we spend a lot of our time chasing to just for to keep to have a outward appearance of a good or a good a masculine framework. We would chase sexual encounters. Ask Captain Stupid. I've been there. I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm talking about. So Nick Cannon, because he didn't have anybody in his life that was he felt worthy to listen to, he just did his own thing, right? I got the receipts right here. I mean, don't let just this video fool you. I got some receipts right here. We're gonna go through baby 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. We're gonna lay out those cases of how those things happen, right? Okay, so let's finish the video so we can see where Nick Cannon went wrong. Because hey, the question is, if you have all these babies and they're all over the country, how are you gonna be a good father? Hmm. Is that what Nick Cannon is thinking about? How am I going to be a good father to these children? Is Nick Cannon actually thinking about that? How can you be a good father if you got children in all over the state, all over the country? Excuse me. You got children all over the country. How can you be good fathers? Hell, we got black men. I live in Los Angeles. I live in Los Angeles, California, right now. I know men that have children right down the street in foster care. They ain't even going to go see them. Why? Because they're too ashamed of what happened, and they don't have the balls to take to take what the child is going to tell to them and say to them, "Hey, you left me out here." They don't have the balls to deal with that. So they instead of going to see the child, they just don't go see him. And the child would want to get that off their chest so they mind can get back get turned right. But no, they don't go see him. So imagine there's people out here in Los Angeles, child live right down the street in foster care or down the street in the orphanage or just down the street with the mother. You know exactly what a child is. But instead of going to go see them, the shame that a lot of black men have, they're so ashamed of themselves. They say to themselves, "It's better if the child don't see me." And in reality, what they're really doing is they saying, "Hey man, I don't have the balls to take when this child comes back at me and say, Why did you leave me? Why did you forsake me? Thou hast forsaken me. Why did you forsake me in this situation? They ain't gonna have no answer. I was trying to get some ass. I was with the hoes. You know what I'm saying? That's why, that's why I didn't have time to be with you, son, because I was out here smashing everything moving. I mean, how's that gonna go over? Anyway, we'll talk about that. Let's move on. Because we got to get to Nick Cannon.
Starting in 2019, they both began working together on reality singing competition television series The Masked Singer, with Nicole as a panelist and Nick as the host. During the making of the teen comedy film Love Don't Cost a Thing, Nick would meet a woman who would not only catch his eye, but capture his heart. Actress and singer Christina Milian. Years later, Christina would confirm that she was the one to end their more than 2-year relationship in 2005 after finding out about Nick's infidelity. She hacked into his phone and, over the span of the next month, read every message. Time was on her side since she was working out of the country, so she chose to wait until she returned home to confirm.
Okay, now I will say this. You're never going to have a good relationship with a woman that's going through your phone, going through your emails, going through your mail, going through all this stuff. You're never going to have a good relationship with somebody like that. It's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. And so he dodged a bullet by her doing that. I'm sure she wished now, based on his bank account now, I'm sure she wished, like, man, she probably hitting her head and going, dog, man. If I would have just had some discipline, I'd be the man on deck right now, or I'd be one of these people getting one of these checks. But she thought with her, like most black women, she thought with her emotions. She used her emotions to do the comprehension instead of using her logic, using her intellect to do the comprehension. And so therefore she didn't have time to weigh out the long-term results of the situation. Unfortunately for her. Anyway, because Nick Cannon is out here giving out he's giving out sperm and he's giving out money. So I mean, he is a pinata. You know what I'm saying? He is a pinata, a child support pinata for whoever wants to, whoever can sneak up to him. All right. All right, let's finish with Nick Cannon.
Confront him. The betrayal stung even more since she considered Nick to be her first love, and he was living in her house, while presumably using the property to do his dirty work. At one point, Nick did apologize for his transgressions, then later did a 180, claiming that he didn't think he did anything wrong, since they were never officially together, and he actually wanted her to catch him.
I don't think I did anything wrong.
Cheating is wrong.
I wasn't cheating. You gotta be in a relationship to cheat. If I'm careless enough to allow myself to get caught, that means I want it. Right. Let me ask you a question. The word is careless. You know what careless means? I could care less.
Okay. All right. So now he said, well, this is not now. This is years ago. He said, hey, the reason why I got caught cheating with this chick is, and then I did, first of all, he said, I wasn't cheating with her because you have to be in a relationship to cheat. Agreed. A lot of times if you go out with women, a woman will say, I'm dating. That's a nice way of telling you that there's other penises, in the vicinity, right? She'll say, hey, I'm dating. So you got to know how to understand. You got to understand, communicate, how people communicate and what they really try to tell you. So Nick Cannon was saying, hey, I'm not in a relationship with you. If I'm not in a relationship with you, how can I be cheating? Well, you could have an understanding. Okay, yeah, but if I'm not in a relationship with you, I can't be cheating on you. Agreed. That makes sense. But you don't live with no woman, and a woman's going, if you're living with a woman's going to assume that she's in first position. And by being in first position, that means she got some kind of way has the authority to go through your belongings looking for traces of other women. That's just how they live. Most of them know how to discipline and say, hey, man, let's sit down and talk about this. Be honest with me. Do you have this going on? They don't, right? What do? They do the Scooby-Doo, man. They're going around trying to find all this evidence. And then when they find all the evidence, they blow up. And then later on, they realize, hey, they made a mistake. Like this chick made a huge mistake getting rid of Nick Cannon. Huge, huge mistake. You can't even find this chick now. All right. You can't even find her if you looked her up. You know what I'm saying? If you had a shovel to dig her up, you couldn't find her, right? Here Nick Cannon is, man, got millions of dollars in the bank, giving away sperm and money. Giving it away, right? Absolutely out of his mind. But let's finish, because we got a lot to cover about Nick Cannon. Got a lot to cover.
The tables were then turned on Nick during his relationship with reality TV star and hugely successful businesswoman Kim Kardashian. They met while Kim was working as Paris Hilton's assistant and before she shot to global fame with her family's TV show, Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Their romance...
Holy smokes. Holy smokes. I
before she shot to global...
I forgot what Bruce Jenner looked like before he got the surgery. Holy smokes. Holy smokes. You guys remember Bruce Jenner? Most of you guys are too young to remember Bruce. Bruce, this dude was the man after the 1976 Olympics, man. He was the man. He was the man. He had the Wheaties box. Remember Bruce Jenner on the Wheaties box? This dude was the man. I don't know what happened to him after being married to this chick that turned him into, that turned him out and made him say, you know what? I'd rather be a female. What happened? What happened? Ay, ay, ay. What happened? I just thought that was interesting. I hadn't seen Bruce Jenner looking like a dude in a long time. All right, y'all, let's continue. Nick Cannon.
Fame with her family's TV show, Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Their romance of less than a year came to an end when Nick found out that Kim lied about the infamous sex tape she made with ex-boyfriend R&B singer Ray J. Years later, Kim would also use the "we were never really a couple" line when asked about Nick. At this point in Nick's life, he'd had many relationships and experiences with a variety of women. So maybe he had a much better idea of what he was and
where are the
wasn't
white women
at? Since soon after his relationship with Kim ended, he was engaged to someone else. Model Salida E. Banks and Nick became engaged in May 2007 after dating for just 3 months. Nick
Okay. Stop right here. Okay. Clarence, you have been married for all this time. You don't know what's going on out here right now. Bro, it's the same stuff been going on forever. Ain't nothing new. It's just new ways of doing it, but it ain't nothing new. It's the same game. It's the same game. Don't get engaged to somebody after 3 months. That's stupid. This dude got engaged to this chick after 3 months of dating her. And really, in 3 months, how much time did he spend with her? I mean, he was running around doing all these other different things for his business, for his job. How did he have time to spend with her in 3 months? No. The reason why people get married, or engaged in 3 months is because of the sexual tension. They enjoy the sexual tension so much, they don't want that person to take that sexual tension somewhere else. And so what they will do is they just will, to not lose the person, as a fear of loss of losing the person. And then some men, they have such low self-esteem, they will be bent up out of shape if they see their woman with somebody else, and they just will fall into that. Those are the simps, where they just say, man, I can't, this is my vagina, and I could not live if I knew another man was entering my vagina. You can't? No, I can't. So I'm gonna have to off everybody just to make sure that I don't have to live like that. I can, and then at the end, I'm gonna off myself. Stupid, stupid, or throw your whole life away, sitting in a jail cell for the rest of your life because you're doing simpish stuff like that. But this is simpish stuff, man. Getting engaged after 3 months, that's simpish movements. But like I said, this dude don't have people he trusts in his life, no men he trusts, and he can get advice from to tell him, hey, wait, hold on, man, hold on. He getting advice from the barbershop. All right, come on, let's go.
Placed a huge diamond ring on her finger in the middle of Times Square in New York City with the help of a Jumbotron. 5 months after that, the engagement was called off. In subsequent interviews, Salida would completely downplay the whole thing, saying that even though she did wear a ring, she didn't think she was really engaged.
Okay, so this one let him get away too, right? I know she's kicking herself in the head for that too, right? All right, let's continue.
Even though Nick and Salida didn't make it down the aisle, he and one of the most famous and successful recording artists in the world would. After knowing each other for several years on a platonic level, Nick would begin dating singer, songwriter, actress Mariah Carey.
Okay, here's where he graduated from a high school simp to a college degree simp, right? This is where he graduated into simping American style, really simping, okay? Why he's simping, Clarence? I mean, he just was in a relationship with her and he really cared about her. Yeah, but he didn't vet this girl. See, man, you got to vet these women. Oh, Clarence, you saying that all the guys are good and all the women are bad? No, I'm saying the exact opposite. I'm saying everybody is a threat until they not a threat. Men, women, everybody's a threat until they not a threat. I mean, you got to vet them. Just because they look good and just because they willing to give you sexual attention doesn't mean that they're the right person for you to marry. It doesn't mean that. You gotta vet these people. When I say vet them, I mean you have to put them. You got to get information out of them that lets you know their true nature. Because once you know the person's true nature, then you ain't got no, you don't have nothing to worry about because you know what they're gonna do in almost every situation. You know what they're gonna do. It may hurt the fact that you know that what they're gonna do, but once you know how they are, then you got an easier time dealing with them. But did he vet this girl? No, he did not. He said, man, I've been loving this. I've been a fan of her. See, he was a fan of hers. He wasn't in love with her as a person because he didn't even know her. He was a fan. This is why you don't get involved with your fans. He was a fan of hers. And he saw her through the lens of a fan, not of the lens of a man that's actually going out with a woman. Man, Clarence, what you talking about? I know. I'm talking crazy, right? Man, the Super Friend, it's the Super Friends. One of them is having a live stream right now. He said, okay, you can go there and do some kumbaya stuff. But for those of y'all that got strong stomachs, hang tight. Hang tight, because we're gonna really get into the discussion right now. Hang tight. All right, so let's go back. Let's finish.
6 weeks later, they would become husband and wife.
Did you hear that? 6 weeks after starting to go out with the girl, he married her. This is absolutely a horrible decision to make. Horrible, especially in the constructs of you looked at her as a fan and not as a woman. See, because you didn't know who you was dealing with. And women like this, when you're not living with them, then they can hide. They can hide things. They got bad traits, man. They can hide them because you ain't around. Especially somebody like her, man. She got a cook, a maid, a chef. She got all these different people that can cover down on her weaknesses. Yes, woman, it's a weakness that you can't cook. That's a weakness. There's a movie called Love and Basketball. There's a movie called Love and Basketball with Omar Epps and Sanaa Lathan. And in that movie, Omar Epps' father, gets caught cheating. And the wife knows. The wife knows that she's cheating, but she just sits in the situation anyway. Why? Because she knows, hey man, I'm not gonna do any better than this situation anyway. If I was to leave and go into the free market, dudes would probably be doing me worse than this dude's doing me. At least here, I got a nice life, I got a nice car, I got a nice house. I'm good. Let him do his thing, right? But how did he even cheat? He got to the point where he got cheated because he got disgusted with how she was. When he found out how she really was, she lied at first and made it look like she was this awesome cook. But what she was really doing was she would order stuff out and have it catered. But she would make it look like it was her that actually did it. By the time this man found out, he was already married to her and had in years down the line. Man, if you with a woman and she can't cook, man, that's your loss. It's your fault. Just like if you with a man that don't work, that's your fault. You accept a person that, oh, I'm accepting them because I don't judge people. No, it's not about you judging people. You don't have to judge them, but you don't have to be in a relationship with somebody that doesn't do the things that a normal man should do and a normal woman should do. You don't have to be in a relationship with a person like that. But did he give her a chance to find out? Did he give himself a chance to find out? No. Why? Because he don't have nobody in his life that he really respect. No man that he really respect, including his father, that he really respected enough to listen to their advice. Why? Why? Because I believe his father wasn't there. His father wasn't there. His father was an absentee father like him. Like he's going to be, like he is. We gonna get to that. Let me don't jump the gun. We're gonna get into that. He married this chick 6 weeks after meeting and after starting to go out with her. Dumb. This is when he started doing all this dumb stuff, man. This is when he started doing all this dumb stuff. Well, he started ramping it up, I should say. Ramping it up. Okay, let's finish.
The couple married on April 30th, 2008, in a ceremony held at her private estate on Windermere Island in the Bahamas. 3 years later, they welcomed fraternal twins, daughter Monroe and son Moroccan. Their divorce would be finalized in 2016 after a separation 2 years prior and a brief reconciliation in 2015. In her memoir, The Meaning of Mariah Carey, that was released in September 2020, she revealed that she was so attracted to him because, unlike her first husband, music executive Tommy Mottola, Nick was a, quote, good guy. She also appreciated...
Yeah, Nick was a good guy. He dropped those children on you and he bounced. Once he realized what he was dealing with, he was like, man, this is not what I want in my life. I don't want no bipolar woman in my life. Not for romance. No. But he's a good guy. I guess he is a good dude. And I'm sure, I don't mean to say that Nick Cannon's a bad guy. I'm sure if he saw you and he saw that you needed help and he could help you, I'm sure Nick Cannon would probably help the average person. So I'm not saying Nick Cannon's a bad guy. But what I'm saying is he doesn't make good decisions when it comes to females, like most men don't, because you've never really been taught how to deal with females and how to deal with relationships and stuff. You've never been taught how to deal with that. The only way you learned is from watching bad situations or in the barber shop listening to other dumb Negroes that don't know what they talking about, give you advice about relationships. Just like on the internet, we got guys out here that's not married giving out married advice. We got guys that's divorced giving out married advice. I mean, it's just crazy. You wouldn't take flight lessons from a pilot that has crashed every time they landed. You would take flight lessons from a person that has landed the plane safely every time. But Black people are the only people that would take advice from the exact opposite of who they should be taking advice from. Anyway, let's get back to Nick Cannon and his baby mama count.
the fact that he was faith-based and ambitious. Mariah eventually confessed that their mutual desire for children was the main reason for their fast-track nuptials. Nick would become a father of 3 in February 2017 when his girlfriend,
Greetings, it's
actress,
Patrice.
dancer, model, and beauty pageant title holder, Brittany Bell, gave birth
Brother
to
D,
a
what's
son.
good?
Nick and Brittany had begun dating back in 2014, pretty much the second he separated from Mariah. Also, during that separation era between Nick and Mariah, model, actress, and TV personality Jessica White would enter the picture.
Holy
Nick and
smokes.
Jessica would continue a complicated on-again, off-again relationship for approximately 5 years. Actually, many of Nick's relationships appear to go through an on-again, off.
Okay, so at this point, we only got the 2 babies right now, right? With Mariah Carey. Okay, hold on tight. Hold on. We're going to get to all of these babies. Hold on tight. Hold on tight.
Again, period. And his relationship with Brittany was no exception. Her and Nick would eventually have a second child, a daughter, in December 2020. To add in.
Okay. Strike that. Now we got 4 children. You got the 2 with Mariah and the 2 with this chick. Right? All right. So let's keep it moving. Let's keep it pushing.
Insult to injury, Jessica later revealed that Nick got Brittany pregnant right after she had a miscarriage.
You weren't aware that she was pregnant?
No, but she was aware that I had just had a miscarriage 2 weeks prior to her news coming out because he told me that he told her. And I was living at his house and she knew that as well. But I found out on Instagram along with the rest of the world.
And did you feel betrayed?
There is no honor among 304s. There's no honor among 304s. Hey, you know, one chick says one thing and one chick says another thing. I mean, there is no honor among 304s. If there's a dude with money out there, there is no honor among 304s. Get it. Man, hey, I understand that. So I'm not even mad. Nick Cannon is the one that played into this situation. But anyway, we got to finish this up, man. I got to finish this up so we can start talking about the effect on Nick Cannon's children.
At that point?
I felt a lot of things, which I won't even relive. Because you have to remember, I was going through still my hormonal changes, and we were about to start in vitro. So when I came out, people thought like, oh, I was this homewrecker. No, there was a real life going on. I was bullied for months with that whole situation because I was still trying to be nice about it. And like, I didn't break up. We didn't break up right away. We were actually still trying to, work things out. He was with me for my birthday. Like, it wasn't until I went home to New Orleans to visit family where I had to ask myself some heavy duty questions like definitively, Angel, is this something that you feel like you can handle? Can you stay here and deal with this? And the answer ended up being no.
During the years Jessica and Nick were together, she made no bones about proclaiming her love for him. He, not so much. Just 6 months after that, Nick received another bundle of joy ×2 when DJ Abby De La Rosa gave birth to twin boys on June 14th, 2021.
Now he's got another set of twins. He's got a set of twins from Mariah and a set of twins from this chick, plus 2 more children from this other chick. Nice job, Nick. Nice job. How are you going to father all these different children all over the country? How are you going to do that? Holy smokes. Come on. We're almost there. Come on.
Nick is a multifaceted ladies' man. Not only does he date multiple women at the same time, but he also impregnates them at the same time too.
That is ridiculous. Ridiculous, man. Listen to me. You guys out there, listen to me. I know it seems like, man, you're the man when you impregnate lots of different women at the same time. That is such a stupid movement. That is so stupid. I had a lot of respect for Nick Cannon, and I still got respect for him, but I just think he's just a really dumb person. I think he's just really stupid. and he doesn't have anybody in his life, man, that could put him to the side and say, hey, Nick, what the F are you doing, man? You just giving away sperm? You giving away money? Sperm is expensive, man. Sperm is expensive. If you give it away, you're going to pay for it. Well, Clarence, man, see, you ain't in the manosphere, man. See, if you was in the manosphere, you can understand this is what you got to do to these hoes, man. You got to hit them. No, you don't impregnate them. You don't impregnate no woman. Not a woman that you're not looking to marry. You don't impregnate these women, man. But Nick Cannon is out here just, willy-nilly, right? Let's see the effect it's going to have on his children.
The month of June brought even more family planning news for the Cannons. Ironically, on Father's Day, Wild 'N Out model Alyssa Scott confirmed, sort of, via her Instagram stories, that she was expecting Nick's 7th child.
Holy
the photo
smokes.
showed an unidentified shirtless man with his face turned away from the camera. However, the distinctive tattoos that Nick is known to have are clearly visible as both of his hands rest on her protruding belly. She captioned the pic, "Celebrating you today." That same week, professional photographer Nick Andrew would post more pics of the two during a photo shoot in Hawaii, tag both of them, and in these shots, Nick's face is quite visible. She had previously posted on the platform a baby bump photo, as well as a nude maternity shoot photo in January and May, respectively, that have both since been deleted. The latter post got the internet all in a tizzy when Alyssa captioned it with the name of her future son, Zen S. Cannon. Naturally, people put 2 and 2 together and gathered that Nick must be the baby daddy.
Okay. 7 children. 7 children. And 4 baby mamas. 4 baby mamas. Nice job, Nick. Nice job. Nice job. By the way, you're making us look like all of us black men, we look like geniuses, right? This is something only black men would do, right? A la Future, a la Shorty Low, a la Nick Cannon, right? Just prance around giving away sperm and money. All right, let's finish up. We're almost done, y'all. We're almost done.
And S. Cannon made his debut into the world on June 23rd, 2021. The proud parents, however, took their time making the official birth announcement. On July 4th, Alyssa posted a beautiful pic of herself holding her son on Instagram with the caption, "I will love you for eternity, 6/23/21." There are many more notches on Nick Cannon's belt. However, it would take a 6-part miniseries to cover them all. Only time will tell whether or not lucky number 7 will be the last Cannon kid. Though knowing Nick,
It won't be.
by the time you're watching this video, number 8 could very well already be on the way.
Number 8 is on the way. Number 8 is on the way. Okay, so we got 7 children right now. 7 children, 3 baby mamas, and 1 wife, which was Mariah Carey, of course. Now, my question to y'all is this man doing a good thing? Is this man doing a good thing? Okay? So he has all these children all over the country. He's got 7 children currently with 1 on the way, which would make 8 that we know about. All things have led us to see that most children do well when they have both parents under the same roof with them. They do better, I should say. That doesn't mean that your child is going to be, things are going to all work out for your child just because 2 people, but the odds are better, right? Statistically, it's better for children to be under the same roof with both parents, right? Is that going to happen with Nick Cannon and his children? I doubt it highly that all of those women are going to get together and live under the same roof so he can be with his children. I doubt it highly. That's why when you look at the way the guys in Utah that have sister wives and all that, when you see they are either they live in the same building or they are very close to each other. Why? Because the men know that you have to be in the child's life. The children have to be able to be right there to be able to come to you and talk to you and see you on a regular basis. How's that going to work, Nick Cannon? How is it going to work if you have all these children and they're all over the place? What's the chances that your children are going to turn out in a healthy way? But see, this is what I'm saying. And so Nick Cannon just say, hey, look, I got the money. I'll just pay the child support. Right? So he's a child support pinata. And as many women that can get to him as they can, that will be their life accomplishment. Hey, I had sex with Nick Cannon. Some women, that's going to be their greatest accomplishment in life. I had sex with Nick Cannon. I had a baby with Nick Cannon. And I'm sure this dude is paying out the nose child support. He ain't paying no regular child support, $1,000 here, $1,200. No, this dude is paying like $5-10 grand, I'm sure, per child. I would safely, say that he would probably be paying in excess of $10,000 per child. I know he's got to be for Mariah's children. These other children, they probably gonna say, hey, if you're paying that for Mariah's child, you're gonna have to pay that for my child. You ain't gonna slight my child. This dude paying out the nose in child support, right? Now, I'm gonna tell you why a lot of you guys pay child support and you don't get your children. You don't even get the 50% custody. You don't get nothing. You don't get nothing. Here's why. Here's why you guys don't get that. And I went over this the last video, the last live stream. You guys leave the house. You guys leave the house, and that's why you guys get destroyed in family court. Clarence, what you talking about? I mean, you leave when you come to the conclusion that, hey, I can't make this relationship work in a positive way anymore. I can't make it work anymore. So what you guys do is you leave. You guys will leave. You guys will go get another place to live. You with me so far? You with me so far? So you go and leave, and you go get another place to live. Then you go to the family court, and in the family court, what you have shown the judge in the family court is number one. What's more important to you is not being with the woman than your children. That is the number one thing you have shown the judge by leaving. Number two, what you've shown the judge is, I trust this woman. I left these children with her. I trust her to take care of them because I left and I haven't been back by there in a month. So obviously I trust her to take care of these children. And the third thing you have shown these people is that you can get along without having your children there. You're paying the bills. You're already paying the bills at this establishment. Their children are there. Why disrupt their lifestyle by having them go back and forth? Let's just set up a visitation schedule for you since you're the one that left. See, but that ain't telling you that. Is Coach Greg Adams telling you that? Is Kevin Samuels telling you that? These guys ain't telling you that, man. They're not out here telling you that you the one that you need to stay on the property. Even you have to rent a mobile home to be out front like Sly Stone. Even you got to rent a mobile home to be out front of your own goddamn own house. Go rent your mobile home. Because once you leave, you're showing the court that you just showed the court that your children, you can live without your children. But Clarence, it shouldn't be like that. It's not. Yeah, okay. Tell women the same thing when you tell them about the wall. It shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't. What shouldn't be and what is two different things, right? It's two different things. So I'm trying to help you over here, man. We're trying to give you some good information that you can do. So if you even thinking about divorcing your wife, don't leave if you don't have to. Don't leave, man. Is there any way you can stay on the property? Figure out a way to stay there. Well, I can't stay there, Clarence, because you know what I'm saying, we're gonna get into a physical altercation. Okay, do like Sly Stone, man. Get you a little mobile home, or shit, if you even have to get a tent. A tent? A mobile home? You know how much it's gonna cost? I can't do something like that, Clarence. How much are your children worth to you? How much are your children worth to you? Are your children really worth it? Man, I ain't gonna let no woman, she ain't gonna be able to do it. Really? If you get your own mobile home and you park it in front of the house, what's she gonna do? What's she gonna be able to say to you? She ain't got a key to your house. And you right there. Judge, I never left. No. I'm right there. So no, you're gonna have to do more than just say, hey, let's just leave it like it is. Right? Because that's what most of them judges gonna do, especially out here in California. You think they want to be trying to figure out who should get the children and having all these different things? They don't, man. Listen, these people are just gonna say, "Hey, you left already? You already gone? Okay, you already gone. So they're fine. They're not having no issues. They're not having no problems with living with the mother. Cool. You left them there. Cool. Just pay your child support, and we'll set up a visitation schedule for you. Thank you. Next." That's what the judges do out here in California. And I'm sure it's probably the same in New York and Miami and different major cities like that. Right? What do they care? They're going to go home to their family. You don't want to have to figure out your life. Your whole life is going to change. If you really care about your children, your whole life is going to change. That's why don't leave. Okay, you don't understand, man. Don't leave. If there's any way you can stay and it's not going to be no violent occurrence, stay. Because when you leave, that's when you telling the court system, hey, I trust this lady. I'm going to leave my children with her, and I trust her. And you know what a lot of times they'll do? They'll get a restraining order against you. Now you can't even come to see your children no more. I mean, the game is so cold, man, but most men, y'all fall right into the trap. Y'all leave. If there's any way you cannot leave, don't leave. Stay there. That way, the family court can't just say, well, you left. They'll be like, well, he's still there. Now you're going to force them to do their job, which is to see who's the better parent and who the children should actually be living with. You're going to force them to do their job. See, when you leave, man, you take so much of a burden off of them. They don't have to figure out nothing. You already showed them who's important in your life. You. Clarence, you don't know what you're talking. I know I don't know what I'm talking about. Go listen to the Free Agent Lifestyle. Go listen to that. Go listen to that. Go listen to that. I know. Go listen to Kevin Samuels. And I like Kevin. I mean, I'm a supporter of his on most of what he says. When he gets right around that little area of marriage and relationships, long-term relationships, that's when I got to drop him off and say, okay, Kev, I ain't with that, because I've been in long-term relationships and marriage. So I know how this is going to go, and what you're talking about ain't exactly going to work. But I'm a supporter of his on almost everything else. I'm for marriage. I'm for guys getting married that are ready. Let me say it like that, because me and Rush were talking about this the other day. I'm for guys getting married that are ready to be married, that understand the sacrifices that come along with marriage and fatherhood. There's a lot of sacrifices that come along with being a husband and a father. Did Nick Cannon realize this? No, he did not. And he still does not. See, a lot of responsibility with being a father. You think just giving a woman your sperm, that's being a father, and throwing $10,000 a month or $50,000 or whatever a month it is to of child support, that's being a father. That is not being a father. Being a father means you in your child's life, and when they have issues, you're able to step in. That's why I said the Mormons, they don't have children all over the country. When they have sister wives or whatever, they have everybody's as closely as possible. If they can't be all in the same building, they're going to be very, very close to each other, very close to each other. Why? Because they understand that you can't raise a child that you're not spending time with. You just can't do it. So what is Nick Cannon's problem? What is Nick Cannon's problem? Why is he out here producing? See, let me tell y'all something. I've had this talk. We went over this a bunch of times on the last couple of live streams. Marriage is for the sole purpose of producing heirs and passing down generational wealth. That is what marriage is for. Why, Clarence? Why is marriage just for that? Because that's the best way you can groom your heirs to get your type of thinking process, so that they can be diligent with the assets you leaving them, the generational wealth that you're trying to pass down to them. You can groom them for that if you all under the same house. You can't groom a person for how to do when they get into big business if you're not under the same roof with them. You just can't do it. You just can't do it. You want to see people that actually are making, you look at the royals. Look at the royals. They don't have children all over the place. They have children that be right there on the premises or close. I know what I'm talking about ain't that exciting, right? But the reality is Nick Cannon. He has the dude has messed up bad. Now, we talking about Nick Cannon. What is the situation going to be with his children? In other words, how's this going to affect his children? Right? Let's ask the question. What is the effect on Nick Cannon's children if he is never around? What is that effect? What is the effect on children when the father is not in the life? There is a brother that's doing a very good docuseries called Atlanta Street Interviews. I forgot the name of the brother that's doing it. It's very good. It's very good. It's called Atlanta Street Interviews. If you guys ever get a chance to go see that docuseries, go check that out. It's on YouTube, right here on YouTube. Just punch it in, Atlanta Street Interviews, and this dude will be talking to people that's homeless. And just like Kevin Samuels, he has a script that he reads. He asks them questions, and one of the questions that he asks them all the time is, "Did you grow up with your father and your mother?" I would say 95% of them will say, "No, just my mother." Now here we're talking to homeless people. The homeless people, if you were to take a survey just off of what he's doing, just off of those Atlanta Street Interviews, that would probably turn out to be 97 or 98% of the people that's out there only had their mother in their lives or their grandparents. But the father was nowhere. The father was nowhere in their lives, most of them. And yet, here they are, homeless on the streets of Atlanta. There's no connection there? Isn't there a connection there? One of the other things he asked them is, did you graduate high school? Most of them have not graduated high school. They dropped out of high school. Why'd you drop out of high school? Because there was no man there to keep that foot on your neck. There's no man there to keep their foot on that neck. Remember, I did another live stream, and I was talking. I did actually a video talking about what's missing. One of the things that's missing in the Black community today. That's the way you. There's nobody to keep you straight, or no time to keep you straight, and that is the dining room table. Most of these people don't have no dining room table. If they do have a dining room table, they stack stuff on it. The dining room table was where your father was able to get an account of you for your day. Your father was able to check you and review your day with you, hold you accountable for what you did wrong, and encourage you to do better the next day. That all took place at the dining room table in the Black community. But the Black community, where's the dining room table in the Black community? It's not there. The fast food restaurant is there now. The mother's tired from working. She's working 2 jobs sometimes just to keep the roof over everybody's head. She ain't got time to cook no 10-course meal. Why? You could when there was a man out working every day and you was able to just take care of the business around the house. Now you got to work. But you wanted to work. You fought so that you could go work. Okay, now you working. But you got responsibilities at home too. You have responsibilities at home, which is feeding that man, feeding those children, making sure all those clothes are clean, making sure the house is clean. You have responsibilities. I'm talking about to the modern woman. I'm talking to the modern woman. You still got responsibilities. These things still got to happen. I don't care how modern you get. Your children need to eat. The man in your life needs to eat. You need to eat. Everybody needs clean clothes. Your house needs to be clean. These are things that you can't get around. You cannot get around those things. So how then is that stuff going to happen if you don't have no man in your life? And you don't have no man in your life because you never learned. You got taught by a single mom how to deal with men. And you're looking at men as a resource. You're looking at men as a resource. And when you're looking at men as a resource, you don't identify with them as human beings. And if you don't identify with a man as a human being, what man is going to stay with you indefinitely when he realizes that you only see him as a resource? So now as a woman, a lot of you women don't even know how to set a table. You don't even know how to present a meal. Put the meal on the table and present it in a way where it shows that you got respect and reverence, and everybody can sit at the table and thank God for what you have presented and thank you for what you have presented. You don't even know how to do that. Same thing with you, man. You don't even know how to appreciate nothing like that. You don't tell her to get all that stuff off the table and go to McDonald's and get you something to eat. We are inside out and upside down. We, Black people. And it comes out in this behavior, like Nick Cannon's situation where he's out here impregnating everything moving. All you got to do is have an IG account and he is on it like a hornet. But what is the effect on the children? What is the effect on the children? Like I said, go check out Atlanta Street. Shout out to that brother, Atlanta Street Interviews, where you can see the effect of the father not being around. You can see the effect of the father not being around in the Black community. Just look at the Black community. Just look at it. The Black community in shambles. It's in shambles. And hardly not that many people want to make anything better about it because they look at it as a resource. Black community is just a resource. It's just somebody to step on to get what you're trying to get to. Clarence, you know what, Clarence? Clarence, you just talking crazy. You just talk crazy. See, I could go over here to the mothership, and the mothership, they talking about sports, and they talking about, they talking about all kind of good stuff. You over here talking about this stuff, man, depressing us. I ain't trying to depress you, man. I'm trying to share with you that we got some stuff we got to do, man. We got some issues we got to take care of. And a lot of times we so hypocritical when we start talking, man. We talking out of both sides of our necks at the same time. What do the Native Americans used to say? White men talk out of both sides of neck. I mean, you know, we gotta do better. We gotta do better. And Nick Cannon, a lot of young dudes are out here watching Nick Cannon, Shorty Low, Boosie, a bunch of these other Future, cats like this, and they said, that's the life for me. Dropping sperm anytime I get, and then paying the child support, the maximum child support. That's the life for me. Don't you know that child support destroyed what was that dude that played for the Seattle Seahawks, the Seattle Supersonics, excuse me, the Seattle Supersonics. What's that brother's name? The brother that had 11 children with like 5 or 6 baby mamas. Child support killed to put that brother in bankruptcy court. Sean, oh man, what's the guy's name? Let me look him up right here. Let me look him up right now. See, I'm trying to use my brain. You know what? I can't. Supersonics. Basketball. What's his name? Sean something, man. Who's that dude for this play for the Supersonics? Man, what is that dude's name? What is that dude's name? Nate McMillan? No. Spencer Haywood, Gus Williams, Kevin Durant. No. This is Sean Kemp. Just one. Same thing with what's his name? Scottie Pippen. Wife tore his behind up. Antoine Jameson. Wife tore his behind up. Tore him up. Tore that ass up. Boom. Child support alone, Sean Kemp was getting killed with 10 or 15, with 8 or 9 different baby mamas. Every year, one of them was going to court saying, hey, she got hers higher. I need mine higher. They killed him. They drove that man. Same thing, Antoine Jameson. Antoine Walker, excuse me, not Jameson, Antoine Walker. Pushed that man right into bankruptcy court. How you get $70 million in your career and you end up in bankruptcy court? How you get Antoine Walker $110 million over your career and you end up in bankruptcy court? Crazy. But why? They doing stuff like this dude doing here, man. You're not vetting your people that you got. You're not vetting them. And his children. We all know that statistically, children that have the father in the home with them, at least for the first 12 or 13 years, they have a better chance of succeeding and not being homeless and not being a high school dropout. They have better chances of that, right? Oh, Clarence, they rich, man. They got money. You ain't gonna be no high school. They're not gonna be no high school dropouts. No, they might not be no high school dropouts, but they definitely are not going to be structured right in the head mentally, because the father not being there is the person that helps that to happen. And when you ain't there, it's an ugly situation. Ugly situation, man. It's a situation where the children are just left to check. And we as black men, see, black men we don't want to talk about this because we too busy out here trying to hit everything moving, right? Clarence, what you doing, man? We trying to get out here and get as much punani as we can. And you out here telling us to be good dudes. We don't want to be good dudes. We want you We want guys like you to be good dudes, but we don't want to be good dudes. We want to just hit and run and hit and run. Okay, if you're going to hit and run, protect yourself. Protect yourself. Protect your seed. Don't give it away. I'm telling you, sperm is very expensive, man. But most men, what? You giving it away because you don't realize the value in your sperm until they come knocking on your door. Yeah, you owe us 12 grand for child support. What? Yours, well, you got a child that's 8 years old that you don't know about. What? Right? Sperm is very expensive. So you guys got to stop thinking of it like, oh, it's nothing. It's the water of life, right? Sperm is very expensive, man. And if you give your sperm to a woman, oh man, I don't want to have no baby. Doesn't matter what you want. Once you relinquish possession of your sperm to a woman, she can then use it for its intended purpose. What is the intended purpose of sperm? What is the intended purpose? The intended purpose is to impregnate females. Whether you spill it on the ground or do whatever you're going to do or cook with it or whatever you do with it, you might do whatever you're going to do with it, but if you give it to another woman, now, once you give possession of that sperm to a woman can then use it for its intended purpose. Once you use it for its intended purpose, what control do you have over what's going to happen after that? Zero. Especially if you don't live with this woman. If you're married, that's a whole nother topic. But you're not married, you're not living with the woman. What control do you have whether she carries the baby to the full term, she gets a baby mark, she gives it up for adoption? What control do you have over any of those decisions? Zero. Like the Japanese airplane, zero. You got zero influence or nothing over that. That's why you got to be very careful with your sperm. Very careful with your commitment, with your time, and your sperm. You got to be very careful because when you give either one of those two up, you're going to have to pay for it. But is Nick Cannon vetting these women? No, he is not vetting these women. That's the first problem that he's got, is he's not vetting women properly. He's not finding women. He's only looking at their sexual appearance. That's all he's looking at, how they look sexually, how they move him sexually. He's not looking at the fact that, and then Mariah Carey, he was a fan of hers. You can't be in a relationship with somebody you was a fan of. How you gonna be in a relationship with somebody you was a fan of? It doesn't work. It doesn't work male to female. It might work female to male, but it's not gonna work male to female. Male to female is not, because you can't be in awe of somebody, of a woman, and then be with that woman, because what's gonna happen is when you start living with her, just like any woman, once you start living with the woman, then you start seeing the real her, right? The real her starts popping out on you. And then you start realizing, oh, wait a minute, this ain't the person that is always agreeable with me. This ain't the person that's always, cool with me. Now I'm starting to see that she's got some other issues, right? She got some other issues. Like Nick Cannon saw Mariah Carey. Whoa, this chick's got some serious issues. Me trying to be with her, that's a tall order. I got to think now, do I want to stay in this situation or do I want to enjoy my life? I think I want to enjoy my life. Goodbye, Miss Mariah Carey. Nice knowing you. I'm going to move on now.
Hey, where are the white women at?
I'm going to move on. I can't stay in this situation. So he did the right thing. He left. Excuse me. He did the right thing ending the relationship. He shouldn't have left. But I think he did the right thing. In his situation, he left because he wasn't prepared to take care of those children. Why? Because his goal is to have sex with as many women as he can. That's his goal. He can't do that lugging twins around, especially now they older and they're going to be able to see everything, what's going on. No. He's got money for nannies, but like he said, he'd rather have his children over there with the mother, right? Because now he's got time to go around giving away sperm and money. His children, though, are going to have a really serious problem, though. His children are going to have serious problems because their father's not in their lives. Let me just take one example, and nothing against the LGBT community, nothing against them. But let me just take a look at this one person, Irvin Magic Johnson Jr. This guy, man, he's all over the road. He's all over the road, man. The poor brother, man, is all over the road. But what was the single biggest factor? His father wasn't in his life. His father didn't come into his life until after he was a teenager. Seriously in his life, until after he was a teenager. Bro, that's too late. That's too late. Especially for male children, that's too late. That is too late to jump in there. You need to be jumping in there at least by first grade if you want to really have them have a successful life. And by third grade, you should have them on track for a career. A career class, they in the third grade, 8 years old. They can handle it. Black children can handle it. I was just talking Chaotic Truth the other day. They talk about black children watching their whole families get murdered, man. Out there in Rwanda, out there in Africa, they watch their whole. They go hide in the bushes, man, and the adults will tell them, go run, go hide. Here come them warlords. Here come the guerrillas, and then the children will go hide in the bush, and watch their whole family get slaughtered. Watch their whole family get slaughtered. You think these children can't handle it? These children can handle that. If they can handle watching stuff like that, they can handle it. You're just pushing a career in front of them. You're just pushing a thinking process. You're just pushing a mental process in front of them. If you want them to be a doctor, you encourage them to be a doctor. I'm gonna wait until they get to I'm gonna let them make their decisions, and then I'm gonna let them get to 17. No. You don't let nobody in our situation make their own decisions. You don't. They don't know what they're doing, man. You got to decide for them. Hey, you're gonna be good in math and good in science, and then you can decide from there what you want to do. But you're gonna put some careers in front of them. At what age, Clarence? Third grade. That's when you should start introducing careers to them. Third grade. I'm just playing with my blocks. I don't care. Let me see you build a building out of those blocks. Let me see you do the math. Find me the cosine of this angle, and find me the sine of this angle, and find me the tangent of this one. How do I do that? Go look it up in Google and tell me what it is. But I'm in the third grade. I know. You can do it. But the problem is, we got the reverse idea. That's too much, especially from the women. That's too much. You're putting too much on them. They're only a child. They're not only a child. God's people, man. They're not only a child. They can handle it. You just got to open their minds to the fact that they're able to handle that. They got their minds closed because they think they're a kid. Because we keep telling them they're a kid. You're a kid. You're a kid. Keep your mouth shut and your eyes closed, and just do what I say, not as I do. And that's what we're telling them. We're teaching them hypocrisy. And then we're wondering why they turn out crazy. Why they go to the gangs. Why? Because the gangs, they don't find out the hypocrisy in the gangs until they go to prison. That's when they find out, when they're at the end of the line and then they expect that the gangs are gonna send them money and everything, and then nobody don't send them shit. That's when they find out that that's a dead end street. But we don't have to tell. We could tell them up front. Hey, you know what? You in the 3rd grade, little man, little Ronald. Hey, it's time to get on this trigonometry. Trigonometry? I don't even know algebra. Well, it's time to get on algebra. It's time to start teaching them. Like I said, if you look at these little kids that come from Africa, I'm telling you, the parents will see the people coming and they'll tell their children, go hide in the bush. They know what's gonna happen. Go hide. Children go hide and can see everything. They can see these people come in and burn the whole village down and kill all of the grown up, kill all the adults, just kill them all. If they can see stuff like that and then get up and come over here to America and move forward, and not just in Africa, shit, same thing happens over there in Cambodia, in Korea, all of these different places that these people escape from. They come over here, and some kind of way they do better, even though they've been through those experiences, right? Look at Jewish people, man. Can anybody say that anybody been through, except for black people, is anybody can say that, hey, there's a group of people that been through more heinous stuff in the last century? No. Black people, maybe. But the Jews, what happened to them in the 1940s? Ouch. I mean, even before that, ouch. Right? But look, they come over here, man. They come over here and they just hit the ground running, as my father used to say. They hit the ground running. Jewish people don't tell their children, hey, man, because of what Hitler did to you back in the day, man, you can't be nothing, man. You know what I'm saying? These people that hold Jews back, you can't, you ain't gonna go nowhere. On the contrary, they tell them, hey, man, you can do whatever you want to do. You in America. Some people gonna like you, some people ain't. But you can do whatever you want. But it's we as black people, what we do, man, we don't tell our children that. Because we even want to be respected by our children. So we tell them, hey, when our children try to be intellectual with us, we shut them down. Hey, you don't talk to me like that. Instead of telling them, hey, you out of pocket, don't be disrespectful. You can be intellectual, but don't be disrespectful. Instead, we just shut them down. Don't even be intellectual with us. Now you just basically told them, hey, I don't use my intellect to make decisions. I just use my emotions. So what they learn how to use their emotions to make decisions, especially the young men. So that's how they turn into simps, right? They with a girl and the girl says, I really want this diamond ring. And he said, but I don't got the money for it. I really want it. And she start crying and everything. He just figure out a way to put himself in so much debt that he can get the ring. Right? Why? Because he ain't got the balls. He ain't got the balls. His father wasn't there to teach him how to have the balls to take an L, because we got so scared that the girl's gonna leave that he just be like, okay, he'll bend to the pressure. No, man, you got to not be scared that the girl's gonna leave. Now I will give Nick Cannon this. He don't care nothing about whether these girls gonna leave or stay or whatever. But we're not discussing that. We're discussing his children. What is the effect on his children? What's the effect on you and me? If this man got 8 children out here and none of them is under the same roof with him, how's that going to affect you and me? It's possible that each one of them may become a criminal. Why? There ain't no man's to keep them out of the situation. I'm not saying that Irvin Johnson Jr. is a criminal. I don't know if he is or if he isn't, but I know that he has a lot of different issues. And you can just look at him and see he's got a lot of different issues. Oh, Clarence, you talking about him because he's in the LBGT community. I would be saying this if the dude was straight. You could see he's got a lot of issues. regardless of being involved with the LGBT community. That's nothing. This dude just got a lot of issues because his dad wasn't there in his life. Nick Cannon, how are your children gonna be anything of value if you're not there in their life? Well, I'm giving them money and they got their mothers. You better hope that the mothers can some kind of way find men in their lives to help. And do you really want, see, this is the question. For all of you dudes that's out there doing this is the question I got for you. Do you really want your children to be taking their orders and instructions from another man that's pretty much there to have sex with your ex? Do you really want that? Do you really want, but that's the position that Nick Cannon has put himself in. He put his children in that situation. He put his children in that situation. They have no choice in nothing. They got to just do whatever Nick Cannon has, set up for them. How many children do you know? Okay, let's talk, y'all. How many of y'all know children that have really, really, really messed up and you could see that it was because the father wasn't there? How many? I've seen a bunch of children like that. I used to coach football and basketball. I've seen a bunch of children like that, a bunch, where the mother was basically dropping them off. But it was one or two smart mothers that was always sitting there. They was sitting there reading a book or something, but they was on deck. They was on deck. But the point is, what happens to children when the father's not there? Now, Nick Cannon, you have put yourself in a position where there's always going to be a race for your attention. There's always going to be a competition for your attention. And there's always going to be, you got so many children that's going to be looking at you like, oh, well, I got slighted. I got slighted because, this dude, Nick Cannon is not, my dad didn't do nothing for me. Or my dad wasn't here for me. Look at, here's another one. Dana Plato, the girl that played Kimberly on Different Strokes. There's a show that used to come on in the 80s, the 70s and 80s called Different Strokes. Go look that program up. Gary Coleman was the star of that program. His parents stole all his money, man. The dude was broke. Came out of the 80s and came out of the 90s with no money. He had to sue his parents to get like $1 million or something. It was an ugly situation for all of them things. Todd Bridges turned into a crackhead. I mean, it was a bunch of bad situations. But what was the overwhelming thing? The parents weren't on the scene, especially Dana Plato. God rest her soul, right? Father wasn't in her life at all, man. She was out there on the scene acting like everything. Same thing with the chick that played Joni in Happy Days. Her parents wasn't on the scene. They was on drugs. Father wasn't in her life. And she was paying for everything for everybody. They stole all her money. They stole all her money. Her parents stole all her money. Yeah, Erin Moran. Yeah, they stole all her money. Dana Plato, they stole all her money. And with a little bit of money she did have, she turned into a crackhead and sniffed it all away. I'm telling you, man, those of us that think that what Nick Cannon is doing is a good thing, we are absolutely, you out your mind. It's good for you because you out there able to sling that dingling and you able to give away this sperm and this money. You got the money to give it away. But some of y'all most of y'all ain't even got that kind of money to give away. You can't give that kind of money away. So now you can't even be there. And on top of that, you can't contribute. What are we doing? What are we doing? Hey, man, I'm here to tell you what Nick Cannon is doing is wrong. Nick Cannon, if you can hear me, man, you are wrong. What you need to do is you need to just pack it up, man. Stop Be a father to the children you got now. You making all these children and you're not gonna be there, man. You're gonna make some criminals in there somewhere. It's a criminal. You got 8 children, 7 children that are here, but 8 on the way. I mean, the number 8 on the way. Bro, I'm telling you, there's a criminal mixed up in there somewhere. And we don't want that criminal out here on the street. We don't. I'm asking y'all, man, please share this with somebody who, if you think somebody even thinks this way, share this video with them. Share this live stream with them so they can understand that, man, having multiple baby mamas and multiple children in multiple states and all over the country and everything, how are you going to groom your heirs to your throne? And which one of your heirs is the legitimate heir? The only legitimate ones are the ones that you married. The ones that came off of a marriage. They are the legitimate heirs. Everybody else is an illegitimate heir, and therefore have to fight to be included in the generational wealth that may be passed down. Or I just do a will, and and I just put will all my stuff in there. Okay, you can, but maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. But the ones that's gonna get the biggest cut of the pie are the legitimate heirs. That's why you should marry. That's what marriage is for: creating legitimate heirs to your fortune. That's what marriage is for. If you're not trying to create heirs, why are you getting married? Oh, because I love this girl. So you love her. You can protect her without marrying her. Marriage is for you as the man. Marriage is for you to be able to protect your legitimate heirs and make sure your generational wealth passes down to them. That's what marriage is for. It's not because you love this girl. You can love this girl and be in a relationship with her, and you don't have to marry her. When we start talking about bringing heirs into the world, now marriage becomes the best way to do that, because if something goes wrong, you can outline how you want to handle it in a marriage when you get the right documents. Oh man, Clarence, what you talking about? Ain't no woman gonna sign no prenup. If she don't sign your prenup, you need to be just like old boy from Steven Jackson. If she will not sign a prenup, you can't marry her. Period. You cannot marry the girl if she's not gonna sign a prenup. And I'm sure Nick Cannon has these NDAs and all that, but NDA we have seen means nothing. It means nothing. These girls sign these NDAs for what, $10,000 or $5,000. They sign an NDA. Somebody like TMZ comes and gives them $100,000 to tell a story. You think they're gonna? What do you think they're gonna do with an NDA? And what man is gonna go to take you to court over an NDA, knowing you ain't got no money, knowing you ain't got no money, knowing you ain't got no money? They're gonna go to court with you. It's absolutely it's insane. It's insane. But hey, y'all, I'm gonna wrap it up and give you my final thoughts, because my wife is trying to get to me for some reason. She know I'm on the line here, but I'm gonna give you my closing remarks. Nick Cannon is a fool, and anybody that has the same mental understanding about how I'm gonna have children, but I'm not gonna be there with them, and I might expect them to turn out right. That's stupid. That's stupid. Don't do that. Don't do that. You should only be having children if you plan on being under the same roof with them. That's what the plan should be. Now, I understand things happen. Sometimes things happen, and you can't, you know what I mean? You just can't get along. After a while, you can't get along with the mother of the children. But if you cannot leave, don't leave. Even if you got to rent a what do you call that thing? mobile home or something to be in front of how, like Sly Stone renting a home, mobile home to be in front of his own house. But it is what it is. Because once you leave, see, when you leave, people like I said, the free agent lifestyle and kept saying, they ain't gonna tell you when you leave, what you telling the court when you leave is, I'm cool with not being with my children. Because they're not what's important. What's important is me. I'm what's important. So you automatically make the woman look like that the children are more important to her than to you because you left. So then when you walk into family court, you don't even realize that you have already set that situation up by leaving. Oh man, Clarence, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Can you please talk about something nice and fun so that we don't have to go to the Super Friends? You can go out there to the Super Friends and see one of their live streams talking about cocktails and you know what I mean, and I was in the army and we're not gonna touch that here. Here we're gonna try and talk about some real issues and real solutions. Real solutions. And the real solution to this is we got to learn how to have discipline. We have to have discipline. We have to recognize the situation, and we have to have what do you call it, critical thinking. But when you can see far, you know what I'm saying, where you can see space. You know what I'm saying, you can see far through space. That's what we need to have, vision like that. Because most of us are getting involved in these relationships, man, with these women. And then you can get into a relationship when you don't look past her sexual appearance. Like Nick Cannon. Hey, she look good. I want a baby by her. She got green eyes. I want a baby by her. She's not all the way black. I want a baby by her. Or whatever his reasoning is. I'm just throwing stuff out there. But whatever his reasoning is for having sex with so many different women and having children by so many different women. Not good. Not good. They're going to end up taking you to the cleaners, my man. They're going to take you to the cleaners. And all you need is a bad health scare. You already got lupus. You already got some other issues going on. All you need is a bad health scare, man, and you're done. Now I'm giving him credit. He's got these issues. He's got these health issues. So maybe that's why he's trying to do all of this. Maybe that's driving him to do these things and making him not think clearly. But the rest of us, you guys, you young guys that's looking at Nick Cannon saying, yeah, that's what I want to be. I want to have all these different women pregnant and that's stupid. And then with the effect on the children is horrendous. It's horrendous. Your children will, at best, deal with the situation. But at the most, man, it'll be an issue. It's going to be an issue. Nick Cannon, I hope that, Susan Q, hey, what's going on, sis? Glad to see you in the building. Glad to see you in the building, man. I was looking for you on that other live stream, but that's okay. That's okay. Perpetual deals. That's true, man. One bad health scare and your whole perception changes. Yeah, man. Yeah. And Nick Cannon ain't realizing that, man. He just plowing through these women, man. Like, man, it's gonna always be that way, but it's not. It's not. And what you're doing to the children, see, me, man, I'm an old man. Perpetual, I'm an old man. I already had my children, they grown, man. I already been in a relationship. I've been in a marriage for 30-something years. I know what I'm talking about, brother. You don't be in no marriage for no 32 years, man. You got to, like I was telling Sister Don Harden, you got to have a body of work, brother. You got to have a body of work for somebody to stay with you for 30 years. You got to have a body of work that they person say, man, I can't let this man walk out that door. I just can't do it. You got to have a real big body of work. So I know what I'm talking about, keeping a relationship together. I know what I'm talking about. It's more than just busting somebody down. Yeah, that's important too, but you got to be able to do some other things too, man. You got to be on a whole nother, whole bigger plane. where you can guide these people. Now, whether they're going to listen to you or not is irrelevant, but the thing is, you provide this guidance. Now, if they don't choose to not listen to you, sometimes they will listen to you, sometimes they won't listen to you. But the point is, that's your job to provide that guidance. As the father, especially to these children, you got to provide this guidance. If you don't provide that guidance, it's going to be an issue. You just look at Magic Johnson's oldest son. Clarence, you talking about him because he's in the LGBT community? No, I'm not. I'd be saying the same thing if he wasn't in the LGBT community. This guy's got a lot of issues. The man's got a lot of issues. Poor brother, man. Pray for him if you believe in God or something. Pray for the brother, man. Brother's got a lot of issues. But what is the central theme in all of these different children with all these issues? The central theme is the father wasn't there. The father wasn't there. He wasn't on deck. As a father, you want all your children under the same roof, if you can help it, if you can make it work. That's what you want. But that's going to cut out having sex with a whole bunch of different women. That's going to cut a lot of that out. But a lot of guys don't want to let that happen. They want to just be out there just, busting rides, wherever, right? So the court looks at it like this. Well, you left. So, you got guys like, Greg Adams and all these other guys, and they telling you to leave. Just leave. Just leave, right? So you leave. So then you go back to court, and the court says, well, when was the last time you were in the house? 6 months ago? Oh, okay, so you've been living without your children for 6 months, but now you all of a sudden want to take them back when you the one that left them there with this chick. You left them there. You obviously trust her to have them. Let's leave it like it is. That's what a lot of judges say, right? Let's just leave it like it is. Let's just set up a visitation schedule for you, and let's set up a visitation schedule for you. And once we set up a visitation schedule for you, you can go visit them. That ain't fair. I want my children. Well, you shouldn't have never left. Don't leave. Don't leave. Don't show the court if you can help it. Now, obviously, I'm not saying don't leave if you get into physical altercations. I'm not saying that. I'm saying if there's a way where you're not getting into physical altercations, it's just turned into shouting matches. That you can manage that. You have to take that. Sometimes you got to take stuff on the chin for your children. You got to take stuff on the chin for your children. Anyway, y'all, that's it for today. I'm gonna leave it right there. We're gonna come back another time when my wife is blowing me up. Something obviously is going on. So let me go ahead and see what's going on, and then I will get back to y'all later. I might do another live stream on Monday, but we'll see. We'll see. Y'all tell me what y'all think, and y'all let me know what's going on. All right, peace.